Hello and welcome back to the Sweet and Spicy Podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Cecily.
And today it's my episode, guys. And we're going to be covering Love is Trash by Emily Antoinette. Cecily is laughing because we have recorded this at least once because of thunderstorms, like we posted. We couldn't use it.
Yep, it is very unfortunate.
It was.
So,
thank you for the rainstorms.
To react
Florida,
naturally.
but it's real bad. Anyway, we're gonna get into this. I really liked this book. It was really cute. The series is called Hallow's Cove, and it is written all of the books. I believe there is about 7 right now with all different kinds of book characters. We'll go into that a little bit because this is a monster book again, guys. This is a monster book, so it's got a bunch of different monsters in it. It's like Hallmark monster smut, guys. We got another Hallmark monster smut. But it's actually written by all different authors. I don't believe 2 of the books are written by any of the same authors, so I believe it's all written by different ones. It's like an author collective. It's very cute. I am actually probably going to read the rest of them. I haven't yet, but I probably am. And yeah, so tired apparently with the yawning. I'm gonna make you Cecily yawn now. Watch. Okay. So we'll get into triggers now. So explicit spicy scenes between a shifter and a human. So technically monster spicy, guys.
Check.
Her website goes into depth about the specific types of spicy, so if specific types of spicy bother you, please go see her website. It'll be linked down below with her name. On the Spotify side. I don't know about Cecily's side. I don't know about YouTube side, because Cecily deals with that. I do not.
What's the question?
But sorry, I had a yawn again, apparently. If her website will be linked over on the YouTubes.
I will figure that out.
Okay.
I will
check
try.
the description. But if any kind of specific things bother you, please check her list for that before reading it. Like I said, it's on her website. It's linked. Otherwise, there is mention of a past cheating ex. We won't talk about it today, but in the book there is that. It's very quick and it bothers her a little bit, but not a ton. I believe initially when we first recorded this, Cecily said, men. And then I had to very nicely say, no. So, this book is very open. Yeah.
It's very LGBTQ friendly, and there's women out here being trash men.
There is actually a book that has, I believe, a polycule. I believe. So I know that there's one with 2 partners, and one there's 3 of them in this group. So, mind you, but that's a different book. That's not the one we're talking about today. But the past cheating ex is mentioned a few times in the book. There's loss of friendship in the past, also mentioned in the book. There's discussions of birth control, because that's always very important.
Yes.
And lots of profanity. This book is filled with profanity. So, if any of those things bother you, or you want more information, go to her website. If any of those things bother you, probably not the episode for you. With that being said, spice rating was 3.5 out of 5. For the sheer amount of spice, the rating goes up. This book was 160 some pages, okay? This was not a long book. This is like a novella territory, I believe. I don't know if it falls into novella or not, but I think it does.
I really don't know how all that works.
There was a lot of spice. There was a lot of spice for the amount of book. It was good. It was slightly spicy spice. I will tell you right now that You know what? I'll tell you later when you find out what kind of shifter he is, and then we'll talk about it. But, yeah, it's a 3.5 out of 5. Like we stated before, it is Smutty Monster Hallmark. Okay? So please enjoy. It's a nice little cute small town. So what you need to know about Hallow's Cove, though, right? It was originally established for the supernatural as, like, a refugee area, right? Like, it's a refuge area. Not refuge area, right? They would go there to kind of get away from humans. It was a monster-only area. Now...
Makes sense.
It's changed. It's primarily occupied by monsters still. But it's more of a tourist destination. And it's like... most of them have shops and things. They sell things to tourists. It's very much like a little tourist coastal town. It's very cute.
So cute.
The first chapter of this book starts with a singular line, and I thought it was worth mentioning because it was, "I want to F a monster." And it is said by our main character, Haley, okay? She's hilarious.
I want to F a monster. Well, alrighty then.
A monster. It then goes into detail that yes, she does definitely want to F a monster. But
I mean,
she also wants like a romantic relationship with a monster.
She wants to be rude.
She does, and she really wants to be like the mate to one, because her aunt actually found her mate very late in life. That's why Haley's actually in the town, because her aunt and the aunt's monster mate, the lovely lesbian lovers, they're very cute, go off to have their honeymoon for like a month, I think. I think they're supposed to be gone for a month to go be on their honeymoon.
A honeymoon for a month sounds great. Honestly, any vacation for a month sounds great. TBH.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. So, you first find out, Haley's trying to hit on all kinds of different monsters. Mates have already been established in the book. You know that monsters have mates and things. What is kind of described throughout the book is that Haley doesn't know a ton about each type of monster. And she has heard that some types of monsters don't actually have a mate, or like a fated mate kind of situation. Rude. They can choose mates, they just don't necessarily have fated ones. One of the types, I believe, that doesn't necessarily have like a fated mate are I believe demons are like one of them. It's never fully discussed because she doesn't fully find out, but I believe that is one of them.
Kind of rude.
Also, I am so stuffy, so I'm so sorry. I'm not sure why, but I am. So, yeah.
Anywho.
So, with that information, Haley actually goes to the bar in town, tries to find people, even just to hook up with. She thinks the bartender, who's a Gorgon. So if y'all don't know what a Gorgon is, it's Medusa, essentially. That is what a Gorgon is. It's the people with the snakes and can turn you to stone. This bartender is very attractive, okay? Haley thinks she's so attractive. Haley has been trying to flirt with this bartender for like days, okay? And the bartender doesn't really like multiple days she's tried to flirt with this bartender. This is now the third day she's tried to flirt with this bartender. She finally thinks she's got this bartender's attention. She kind of pushes out her chest a little bit. She is a curvy, slightly like plus-sized baddie, okay? Haley is very pretty, very awesome. Very curvy, yes. So she tries to hit on the bartender. She thinks it's working. She pushes her chest like towards the bartender, like on the bar. And the bartender looks down. She thinks she's caught her eye and been like, ooh. No, what really happened is
I'm at the bar.
Haley put her boobs into a wet spot on the bar. And so now her top
Oops.
is soaked. Yeah, and so that's what the bartender tells her and then walks off. So Haley just takes defeat, pays her tab, and leaves. The bar is not Haley's normal scene, okay? She's not a big fan of going to the bar. But she does it so that she can meet people and try to attract people, you know? Meet as many people as possible. See if she's got a mate there.
As one would do. I mean,
yeah.
I would probably try that. Especially if Justin disappeared.
Fair. But, didn't work out for her. She goes home. When she's changing at home, she realizes that her lucky pink panties have a hole in them. And it's a hole big enough that she can't fix. Okay? And these are her lucky ones. Okay? She has to throw them out. So she throws them outside into the trash can.
I've never really heard of lucky panty. I guess I have heard of lucky underwear, but it's usually like sports related.
Yeah. These were her, like, she'll get, some action, I guess, panties. I don't know. Didn't work out well for her, I guess.
Doesn't sound like it.
Then she throws away the panties outside in the outside dumpster, okay? She goes back upstairs to do her thing. She hears some loud noises, right? So she's like, what is that? She comes back downstairs outside. She sees a raccoon running off with her underwear. Literally pulled it out of the trash can, runs off with it.
What a sight.
Well, what we're about to find out, guys, is that it's actually a raccoon shifter named Jake.
I have legit never heard of a shifting raccoon before.
I haven't either, and that's why I picked up this book, because I thought it was really cute. So, the raccoon is very attracted to her scent, okay? He doesn't know why
Obviously.
yet.
He's scooping up them drawers and running off.
I know. He doesn't really know why he's so attracted to them, but he is, and he grabs them.
I don't know. They just smell
the reason,
so good.
So the human part of him doesn't know, and the raccoon side of him just likes them. This is one of those situations where the shifter part is a different entity, and they both just kind of live in parallel to each other.
Which is kind of weird.
Jake named his raccoon side Beans. Beans! It's wonderful.
All I can think of is Beans from Even Stevens.
I've never seen Even Stevens, so cool.
Dear God, you're such a baby.
I am not that much of a baby.
This is right. That's all I have to say.
Anyway.
That's all I got. My keyboard is bugging me.
So, Jake likes to dumpster dive for trash pickup day in his little raccoon form. Yeah. So they usually don't hit the trash can next door to the store because, it's too close. They share the big dumpster. It's just not good, right?
Too close to home, man.
Yeah. But there was this irresistible smell coming from the can, which of course was the panties. She did actually almost catch him half shifted. So, and it's half shifted naked with a boner. Because, the minute he smelled them, he got a boner. And he still didn't understand why he liked them so much.
Dang.
So, he bolted when he realized that she was coming downstairs, right? And so all she saw later was Beans, the raccoon.
Beans.
So she's like, oh my god, we have a raccoon problem. And she's got 3 little,
and in a whole infestation.
Yeah. So she's got 3 teen wolf triplets that work in her aunt's store. So they mostly just take care of the store and stuff. But she manages it and takes over, certain shifts and things so that the teens can go home, right?
That's nice.
So she deals with it, during the day and stuff. And
Excuse
the
you.
wolf shifter, sorry, I have to keep yawning. So one of the wolf shifters tells her, oh, you should go talk to Jake next door, because he lives next door, guys.
Jake from State Farm.
You made that joke the first time, too.
Okay, but obviously I have to make it again because we're re-recording.
Obviously, it's just funny. So she goes over there to be like, hey, I think we have a raccoon infestation. The triplets told me to come talk to you, but before she can, so she goes over there to do that, right? So they do meet face to face, right? And she's been waiting in his store. His store is called From Trash to Treasure. It is a thrift store.
Another man's trash is another man's treasure.
He fixes and restores all kinds of stuff that's broken, from furniture to electronics, everything. You'll learn more about the electronics thing in a little bit. But so she happens to be in the store looking at the ripped bodice books in his thrift store.
Ooh. You mean the bodice rippers?
Yeah, the way that the book actually wrote it was the ripped bodice books, the ripped bodice type of books. Well,
they're called bodice rippers.
I'm sorry. So anyway, they meet while she's holding them, and they have a cute little meet cute moment where she drops the books on the ground. He picks them up and hands them to her. Mm. And then, it kind of, the little meet cute kind of turns a little uncomfortable for Haley, because Jake is very much rushing this conversation while also just staring at her. And she's noticing his eyes are changing every once in a while to have this weird little gold rim around them and then flashing out of it. And so Haley's leaving now after everything. He rushed her so much that she was kind of nervous and dropped the books again. He handed them back to her and said, you can just have those. It's okay. You can just have them, whatever. And she was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'll deal with the raccoon issue. Don't worry about it. And no, actually, he said that to just get her out of his store. Because his thought process is, okay, I can just, ignore her and she'll go away and it'll be fine. So...
yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, that isn't how that works. So Haley, as she's leaving, though, runs into a demon that asks her out for coffee. She says yes. Aww, she doesn't have a reason not to say yes.
Demon.
Because, mind you, Jake did not tell her that he is a raccoon shifter. She doesn't know that the raccoon that stole her underwear was him. Because in his defense, he was worried that it would scare her off. And honestly, if I found out that a man shifted into a raccoon and stole my underwear, I probably would be a little freaked out too.
I guess so, but at the same time, she's also in the shifter town, so it's kind of duh.
He doesn't, it's not just shifter, though, to be fair. It's any kind of monster. So he could literally just be something that looks normal on the outside. Or he could be any other kind of shifter. So she assumed he was a shifter based on his build and what he looked like and things. She just didn't know what kind of shifter.
That's what you get for assuming.
But his hair should have given it away because he has literally a white streak in his hair.
Teehee.
And gray and white streaks in his hair. And his hair is one or something like that. So you would think she would know. She just thinks he's older. Which isn't wrong. I think he's 39 and she's 34, 36. Around that era. So they're both older. So you switch over to Jake's point of view, right? And he's realized why he and Beans were equally obsessed with the underwear, because she's his mate, because now they've locked eyes as humans and he's obsessed.
Duh.
Right? So now he's freaking out because he knows he's effed and can't just ignore her like he was planning on doing. So he decides to go find her and sees her on a date panics and runs away. He actually, like, bought her a muffin because Beans, like, loves the muffins from this cafe. And then he noticed that, and then, because she was alone, and then the demon came back right as he was trying to, like, walk up with the muffins and, like, dropped them on the ground, both of them, and, like, bolted. It was really sad.
No.
So, her date is actually a lust demon, and wanted to do this spicy acts to feed off her arousal.
The horizontal tango.
Yeah. Haley wants more than that, so they part ways because the demon was like, I'm so sorry.
Sad.
I'm really young for a lust demon. I probably still won't, like, settle down for another, like, century and a half. Like, I still need to, like, eat a lot and, like, you know, figure out my stuff. And so, like, he's very nice about it and is like, I am so sorry that, like, I misread this situation. I thought, like, you knew. I thought that we both, like, just kind of had this we're gonna mess around thing going on. So sorry. Like,
I thought we were just hooking up, bro.
Yeah, kind of that, right? And he was like, I am so sorry that I didn't explain my intentions before, like, we met up. Like, I apologize for that. So, you know, consent, very big with the demons. So,
tracks.
So, specifically, like, the lust demon, though, because if she's not aroused, he doesn't have anything to eat.
That's fair.
That's what he feeds off of. Is, like, that consensual kind of stuff. So, anyway, she goes home. She uses a spicy toy, you know, that has a vibrate feature, making it YouTube friendlier. And he actually happens to accidentally, you know, Jake actually happens to accidentally see her using it because their windows are across from each other.
Accidentally.
And she kept the blinds open. It was actually accidental.
Lies.
Because he genuinely was just like, okay, you know what, I'll just go pack and go out to the woods and do a run and then we'll figure it out. Because obviously she doesn't want me because she's already on a date, you know, she's whatever.
Oh, she doesn't want me, she's on a date. No, you're a dummy, you didn't say nothing. Communication.
Yeah. Anyway, so he goes up to his room to pack, and that's where he sees her, and he's like, first, like, drawn to it and is, like, watching it, and then he's like, nope, this is wrong, I can't do this. Runs outside of his room, slams the door, and just, like, sits in front of it. Like, I can't see that. That is her private time. She left the window open, but she probably just didn't realize that my window was right across, and, like, that I can see into it, and, like, that's, you know. So, anyway, the toy dies right before she experiences the bliss that she's chasing. And she's like, oh my god, I just have to charge it, whatever. Like, she goes to charge it. It's not charging. It's dead. Like, this thing is not coming back. So, she does what most people would do and throws it in the dumpster.
Dun dun dun. It's gone now. Beans is gonna grab it.
It's not even Beans this time.
I feel like it's worse when the human does an animal thing.
It kind of is. So, he smells it, and he's in this like, mate-scented stupor, and he steals it from the dumpster. So it didn't touch anything gross in the dumpster, and he makes that a point to, like, say that. Neither did the panties. He enjoys himself with both items, by the way.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And he also sleeps with the underwear in his pillow because it smells like her. Like, it sits inside of his pillowcase, like, right under his head so he can smell her. Boy's got it bad.
Bad.
So, this leads her to talk to him again about the raccoon problem, because she comes downstairs afterwards and she's like, oh my god, it's been stolen out of the dumpster again. She didn't see a raccoon take it, but she knows that the raccoon took it, and this is making her think, right? Like, maybe the panties were a fluke, like, I can chalk that up, whatever. But this raccoon stealing things that smell like my downstairs makes me feel like I don't smell great, or that I smell very strong, or just like I am raccoon attraction. You know? Which technically she's not 100% wrong on the attraction of raccoons part, but
oh snap.
To be fair, Beans is not attracted to her like that. He feels safe and like cuddles with her later on. Because we all know it's Hallmark and it's a very happy ending. But it's funny. No. So she talks to him again about the raccoon problem. And he asks her to have dinner with him for a raccoon stakeout. So he asks her on a date, essentially, to do this raccoon stakeout. And they're both super nervous for the date. And they also geek out about aliens together. Aliens. And their date goes really well. And they end up, like, going on more inclusive, more dates, including hiring a marriage counselor to mess with. So they legitimately hire a marriage counselor for a session. And they make up all of these fake problems. Like, and they're silly problems. They're, like, weird, silly problems. And they just go in on it. And it's very funny. He still hasn't told her he's a raccoon shifter, by the way. But anyway, they date for a few weeks before Jake finally does tell Haley that he's her mate. And that he's also the raccoon that stole the items from the trash. He, by the way, remember when I said that he can fix electronics?
Mm-hmm.
He fixed the spicy toy. He used it on himself. Uh-huh. No, but he used it on himself before, the other stuff. But he then used it on her later on. And told her that he fixed it. What's hilarious is that in the book it does say that he throws the items out, but evidently he grabbed them again. So, anyway. Haley doesn't really care about the items stolen. Like, because of the mate bond, she's always wanted there to be one, and with him, she's super happy because she really likes him. She, probably loves him at this point. And they're very happy, they're mates. It's very sweet. Yeah. And he was so worried that she wasn't going to accept them, because on their first date with the stakeout, she told him that that's what she came for. And he was so happy. And then she said that, at this point, she doesn't think that that's what she wants and all this thing. And she was very much lying, to make herself feel better about not having those things. And so he kind of pulled back a little bit and was like, oh no. But anyway, they move in together and live happily ever after. It's a very quick but very cute read. The author does have an additional scene, by the way, of them that you can read if you are a part of their newsletter, of the author's newsletter, which it's free to be on the newsletter. You just sign up and you get the free chapter, and it's very cute. I will say that there is something special about the anatomy of a werewolf, of a raccoon shifter. A raccoon shifter. And that is that apparently he has an actual bone in his downstairs equipment to keep it up longer, to provide more pleasure for his partner for longer periods of time.
Hi. It's about time for human males to evolve.
That would be funny.
I'm just saying. Somebody should work on that. I don't know how one triggers evolution.
What would, in your opinion, what would be the evolution?
I mean, I guess that.
The bone?
A lesser refractory period in a bone.
I mean, some men do have a lower refractory period.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
The bone thing would bring a whole new meaning to it breaking. Because you can actually break one, guys.
That could be bad, I guess.
Yeah. It's like a whole different level of breakage. Which I do think is funny.
I'm just saying. I think it's adorable how sweet this book is, knowing what I'm about to cover.
Oh, it's so sweet, but it's spicy. It has the spicy. I kind of skipped over a lot of the spicy. A lot of it is very much like self-done until the end. So like a lot of it is very like self-pleasure kind of things until you get to that ending point.
I'm all about myself.
Yeah. They think about the other person. But yeah, we'll go for the all about themselves. I do recommend reading it though if this kind of sounds like it's up your alley. It is very cute. Her and Beans do cuddle. He gets an hour a day with her. That is like their deal. Beans gets an hour a day with her to cuddle and, you know, be with her. And a lot of times he just cuddles up and sleeps with her or sleeps on her.
I would say Beans is
lap.
like a regular sized raccoon, right?
Yeah. Beans is just like a
so
normal,
when he's
like,
with
house
her,
cat
he's just
sized.
kind of, he's like a pet.
He's raccoon.
Way,
he's a pet raccoon, yeah.
So like when he's hanging
straight
out
up
with
just
her,
like a pet raccoon, yeah.
Just getting cuddles and vibes. Got it.
Oh, there is a moment where like, so Beans was obsessed with muffins from this bakery. And then one day he like started to become like obsessed with eating cotton candy, which raccoons and cotton candy is hilarious. But he became obsessed with pink cotton candy because it was the color of Haley's hair.
Adorbs.
So he was obsessed with cotton candy because it was the same like pastel-y pink color as her hair. So it was really cute. It was so adorable. Cute. I highly recommend it.
Cute.
Follow us on Spotify, on YouTube,
Instagram,
Amazon, Instagram for updates. And I think that's it. Links are in the description.
Wherever music is sold. That's like an old commercial bit.
That's incorrect.
I know.
We are not on anything Apple. At least I don't think we are. If we are, someone else has our podcast at some point. But anyway.
The audacity.
Anyway. Yeah, so enjoy this cute little read. Next week won't be as sweet, and we're so sorry about the delay. Because, you know.
I'm not sorry.
Weather
about
happens.
The delay. I'm not sorry about the book.
Yeah. Delays happen, guys. We're so sorry. Rainstorms kind of messed some stuff up. And at that point, it was way too late for us to re-record, edit, and
I kind of live in the boonies, so
Friday.
like...
You do.
The internet going down is a problem when the storms.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Happy reading.
There you go. Bye.